Are there really giants living in the Solomon Islands? It sounds like something out of a fantasy tale, but there are legends that in some remote places on Earth, far from noisy cities, there exists a race of giants, descendants of the biblical Nephilim. The Solomon Islands is one of the places where these myths and legends have taken on a life of their own. With the history full of mysteries and a treasure trove of legends passed down from generation to generation, the Solomon Islands are a fascinating and mysterious place. Some believe that the giants inhabited these islands to this day, living in caves in the ground that are connected to the islands and allowed them to move about without having to see the light of day. But is there any truth in these legends? Is it really possible there is a race of giants living among us? In this video, we will dive into the history of the Solomon Islands, looking at the legends and stories of the giants that are supposed to live there, and look for evidence for and against their existence. Get ready to explore one of the greatest historical mysteries of our time, revealing a whole new world of alternative theories. The Solomon Islands and the discovery of gold. The Solomon Islands have a rich and amazing history that dates back centuries. In 1568, they were discovered to the world by a Spanish explorer named Alvaro de Mandana de Nera, who sailed the oceans from Peru and came across these beautiful, pristine islands. Medina was convinced that he had found the place where King Solomon had obtained the gold for his temple in Jerusalem, and therefore named them the Solomon Islands. For centuries, these rumors persisted, and explorers from all over the world set out to discover the truth about the island's supposed gold deposits. However, the gold finds reported by Medina have never been confirmed. In more recent times, however, companies managed to extract a large amount of gold from the islands. It is believed that there still may be a significant amount of it buried throughout the earth, waiting to be discovered. But the history of the Solomon Islands is not limited to gold. They were inhabited only by the indigenous people who lived there for thousands of years, untouched by the outside world. Papuan-speaking settlers are thought to have started arriving around 30,000 BC. The emergence of Medina marked the beginning of a new era for the islands as more explorers began to set their sights on these mysterious lands. Over time, they became a famous battleground between American and Japanese soldiers during World War II. In fact, the idea that Solomon Islands were the source of King Solomon's gold is probably just a made-up legend passed down through the ages. However, this has not stopped people from looking for gold there. However, this process has not been without controversy. There are allegations of exploration, with some local residents accusing mining companies of exploring their land and resources for their own gain. Others point out that the search for gold has caused irreparable damage to the environment, with mining activities leaving scars that may never be fully healed. Legends and tales of giants of the Solomon Islands. One of the most intriguing and enduring legends passed down through the generations of indigenous people is that of the giants who supposedly lived on the islands. According to oral tradition, these giants are said to inhabit the earth and live in caves and underground cavities that are connected to the islands. Like many other cultures around the world, indigenous people believe that these giants still exist today and that they are a race of beings unlike any other. The stories of the giants are fascinating and mysterious, with many different variations and interpretations. Some believe they are benevolent creatures, while others consider them dangerous and malicious. There are even legends of giant creatures that hunt people, lurking in the shadows and waiting to attack them. Many have traveled to the Solomon Islands in search of evidence of these mysterious creatures, while others have studied the legends and stories of the local population in an attempt to uncover the truth. So are there really giants living in the Solomon Islands? The legends surrounding this matter are shrouded in mystery and uncertainty, and concrete information about these mysterious creatures is scarce. However, there are some rather provocative descriptions and stories related to them. According to these accounts, the giants of the Solomon Islands were over 3 meters tall, with some accounts suggesting that they could grow even taller. They had very long, black, brown, or reddish hair, prominent double eyebrows, red eyes, flat noses, and large mouths. Their appearances is said to be similar to that of creatures around the world, such as the snowman and Mongolian alms. Despite their fearsome appearance, some stories suggest giants have their own social structures and societies. It is believed that there may be thousands of them living on the island of Guadalcanal alone, who use complex cave systems to cross from one side of the island to the other. There are also legends of different types of giants, some smaller and others even taller than 3 meters, 10 feet. The local people of the Solomon Islands have long believed these giants are a unique and powerful race of beings, unlike any other creature on Earth. Of course, these tales and legends should be taken with a healthy dose of skepticism. There is little concrete evidence to support their existence of giants in the Solomon Islands, and many leading scientists and historians dismiss these stories as mere folklore. One of the most intriguing accounts of the giants comes from Marius Boyryan, a helicopter pilot who lived and worked on the islands for many years. He even married a local woman. Boyryan claims to have heard many stories about the giants from the locals and even encountered them himself several times. His experiences were so strong and unusual that he decided to write a book about them entitled Mysteries of the Solomon Islands. In it, he shares first-hand accounts of the giants, describing them as elusive and cunning creatures who stalk their victims and often sneak around villages at night in search of food. The most sinister part of his stories is that some of the giants killed and stole people from their village, and there was even a huge killer giant that attacked the native population. Many warriors died trying to kill the giant, and eventually the villages had to be moved to other parts of the islands to protect their people. Whether there is a truth to these accounts remains a mystery. Foreign encounters with giants in the Solomon Islands. The stories and legends of the giants of the Solomon Islands are not limited to the indigenous people, their traditions, and the Book of Boyryan. In fact, there are even reports from foreign powers shared alleged encounters with these mysterious creatures during the campaign in the islands between 1942 through 1945. According to reports, it was during the conflict that Japanese forces had direct encounters with the giants. According to reports, Japanese soldiers had seen creatures between 3 and 5 meters, 10 to 15 feet tall, sometimes pouncing on entire military groups. The bullets had almost no effect on them. The soldiers were threatened by attacks both during the day and at night. The cannibalistic nature of the giants struck additional fear into the hearts of the Japanese infantry, and the encounters were said to be so terrifying that the soldiers had difficulty sleeping at night. They often heard their comrades screaming at night when the giants launched new attacks. While there are certain skeptics who dismiss their accounts as myth and folklore, the sheer number of testimonies and eyewitness accounts from various sources gives reason to believe that there may be some truth to the legends of the giants of the Solomon Islands. At the very least, accounts of encounters with these mysterious creatures serves as a reminder that the mysteries of the world are vast and varied, and that there is still much we do not understand. Evidence for giants in different cultures. The legends of the giants of the Solomon Islands are not unique in the world. In fact, the idea of giants has been part of many cultures throughout history. From the biblical account of the Nephilim to the depictions of such in ancient architecture and cave writings offer numerous examples of the presence of these creatures in different parts of the world. The idea of falling angels and their intermingling with humans is described in Genesis chapter 6 verse 4, provides a possible explanation for the presence of giants in different cultures. The legends about these mysterious creatures may be a remnant of the time when fallen angels coexisted with humans, which led to the birth of the Nephilim and the subsequent appearance of giants in various parts of the world. While this idea may seem far-fetched to some, the sheer amount of legends and stories about such beings across cultures suggests there may be some truth to the idea of fallen angels and their influence on the world. The legend of Solomon Island giants is only one piece of this larger puzzle. The relationship between giants and pyramids in different cultures is also an interesting topic. Many ancient societies around the world, such as those in Egypt, Iran, Iraq, China, Mexico, and Cambodia, built pyramids, suggesting that something was happening on Earth in those days. Even more intriguingly, these cultures all have stories and depictions of giants. It is possible that these societies had contact with each other and that the giants played an important role in the construction of these pyramids. The Solomon Island giants may be the last survivors of these species that ever roamed the earth. What do you think? Is it possible that giants still exist today? Bible prophecy and the return of the Nephilim. The subject of the return of the Nephilim and their offspring in the last days is an intriguing theme present in several Bible prophecies. One of these is found in Revelation chapter 9, which describes an army of 200 million strange creatures that will bring a plague to the earth, killing a third of humanity. The nature and qualities of these beings are unknown, but some theories suggest that they may be some kind of descendants of the Nephilim who were brought back to life for the war of the last days. Another Bible prophecy that supports the theory is found in Luke chapter 21, verse 26. It speaks of people fainting with fear and anxiety because of what will happen on earth in the last days. The powers of heaven will be shaken, and men will faint in fear at the sight of what will come upon the earth. Something so terrifying could be the Nephilim and their offspring being resurrected, brought back to life by some kind of wicked supernatural event that would occur to usher in the last days of the earth. While these prophecies are subject to various interpretations, they are worth considering in the context of the legends and stories associated with giants around the world, including the Solomon Islands. It is possible that the giants still exist today, hidden in the caves of the earth. Only time will tell if the return of the Nephilim and their offspring is inevitable or just the stuff of legend and myth. If you like what we do, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment.